How does anti-racism training and discussions sort of connect to mental health wellness or mental health awareness?
That's a good question. Everybody's seen the Black Lives Matter movement in April, May, and June. And one of the things that I've seen was that being fully active all the time takes a toll on our mental health, especially for me. Even though it was just, let's say, in the streets in Ottawa or on IG, you're waking up, you're seeing all these things that are happening in the world on people that looks like you. And even though like you're trying to be aware, you're trying to be fully involved in the process of helping those people over there and the people here in your community that are facing the same issues, it takes a toll on your mental health and it takes a toll on yourself. Because at some point, sometimes you're like, when is it gonna end? That's right. I felt like that a lot of times in the past months, even now, when sometimes I see some stuff and I'm like, I want to do stuff, and I feel like we've been talking for it for like the 4 or 5 past months, and it feels like nothing's changed. And when it feels like this, sometimes you feel defeated, you feel like you can't do anything, and it brings so much negative energy on yourself. And this is why anti-racist training is good and necessary, because when we do that and we include the everybody in the process, will be able to find a solution. People think that Black Lives Matter is a Black issue. It's not a Black issue. It's an issue that everybody needs to be part of and needs to work on as a group.
What are some of the ways that BIPOC communities can hold our white allies accountable for issues that occur within health and food systems?
Oh, that is a good nuanced question. And so once again, I think it depends on obviously the community in which you're in, because there's certain communities where our white allies are more willing to listen, and other communities where they're a little bit more resistant to listening. So it's sort of taking that into consideration, but then also really questioning what is it you want and why do you want it? So for example, in Canada, there was this movement led by Black Canadians to try and get race considered as one of the components in analyzing COVID data. There was a massive push. It was like, we really want to know the race, because Black Canadians knew that COVID was more negatively impacting Black people than non-Black people in Canada. And the statistics came out, but we have to question why do we want these statistics? Because, for example, when many cities in the US found out that Black people were getting COVID at a much higher rate, that's when the economy decided to reopen in a lot of these cities. Because at that point, it was like, oh, wait, it's not my family getting ill. It's not people that look like me getting ill. It's just the Black people. No big deal. You know, when people were realizing that it was migrants, it was the Latino communities, it was the Black communities, it was the poorer communities that were getting and dying of COVID at a much higher rate, then at that point, the interest was lost, because COVID did start as a rich person disease. So the second it was realized that COVID has now transitioned into hurting mostly the poor, people stopped being interested. So it's really sort of targeting what is it you're looking for and what will help you get there. Because getting statistics can have a damaging effect. Yes, it can prove what you were saying was correct, but it can also demonstrate to someone, if they're not willing to listen, that now they get to ignore you because statistics say that they're not in danger of what you're in danger of.